Hello everyone, I'm Bill Hammond and I actually paid to see this. Thank you all so much for your viewership and support during the Oscar Blitz. It was beyond uplifting to see the numbers go up across the board. I'll probably never make money off of this. It's really just a hobby that I'll just keep doing until it stops being fun. But every single view, like, and new subscriber just warms my heart and lets me know that maybe, just maybe, I'm doing something right here. So again, thank you. With that out of the way, it's time to get back to the people who keep doing stuff wrong! With the latest edition of the worst trailer in the world! Now for this month's entry, I really didn't want to do a preview for another horror movie, as it would be the third in just the first 4 months of the year. I especially didn't want to do religious or supernatural horror. I'm a man of science, after all. But sometimes, you're compelled by a higher power. Namely the people who were obviously high as hell when they greenlit this.
Father Gabriele Amort?
Only Russell Crowe would dare try to look like both Indiana Jones and his dad at the same time, and only he could suck at both so tremendously.
You performed an exorcism.
If a successful exorcism includes someone committing suicide, I'd hate to see what a botched one looks like.
That was not an exorcism.
I mean, yeah, she totally didn't stick the landing on that one. Maybe she could make up some points in the floor exorcism.
Majority of cases do not require an exorcism.
Says the priest who claims to have performed over 160,000 of them in his life, including counting everyday rituals like prayer among his number. Now I know what you're thinking. A member of the clergy lying? That's impossible! I know. Shocked me too. Excuse me. The files? The files! That's your source material. Oh my god, how flimsy can you get? Coming this summer from the files of Bill Hammond's computer, it's Green Day albums and porn! Actually, now that I think about it, that would probably be a better movie than this. Let me circle back to this once I get a pitch deck together.
98% are recommended by him to doctors and psychiatrists.
I'm sorry, how is this an odd fact for a skeptic to bring up? A man with no medical training recommends that people seek the opinions of medical professionals? Surely he must be a fraud! I mean, he's definitely a fraud, but for this specific reason!
The other 2%, I call it evil.
Actually, it's just the 1% who are evil. Come on, occupy the Vatican! Occupy the Vatican! Oh yeah, timely jokes. Fucking nailed it!
You have a problem with me? You talk to my boss, the Pope.
He treats this like a mic drop moment, but he's a priest. And they're clearly cardinals based on the red hats. So they're all your bosses. And the Pope is above them, meaning he clearly sanctioned this interview. What dick are you trying to measure here?
There is a case that needs your attention.
Okay, I know liberties have to be taken when it comes to hair and makeup design, but the real Gabriele Amort worked for Pope John Paul II, who was neither Italian nor did he have a beard. In fact, no pope has had a beard in over 300 years because it's basically not allowed now for Catholic clergy to have facial hair. So what the hell? This is basic research I can do with a quick Google, so why didn't the movie do any of this? It's almost as if the story is complete bullshit, and the producers don't want to get sued for defamation by associating this film with an actual pope or something. Imagine that! Man, those new spicy chicken fries at Burger King are no joke.
Bring me the priest.
Huh. Normally it's the priest demanding that little boys be brought to him.
Wrong priest!
Was that the demonic equivalent of swiping left on Tinder? Okay, so I've got the perfect idea for your new kitchen. Okay, picture it. I want you to picture it. Are you picturing it? Better be picturing it now. Come on. A well lined with skulls. I know. It's perfect, isn't it? It's just genius. Let's see the Property Brothers do that shit.
The church has fought against this demon before.
Right after they hid One-Eyed Willie's gold, apparently.
The Vatican covered it up. We need to find out why.
Yes, this is the Vatican cover-up you need to figure out. This one, right here. No others. None at all.
You've been played. You took the bait.
Holy crap, is Chris Hansen about to come into the room? Making yet another case to have his Oscar rescinded.
Whatever you do, you only do because God allows it.
I'm gonna leave this one alone.
Did he allow that?
Oh, he's not talking about the choking. He's talking about Crow singing in Les Mis.
Imagine what could happen if the devil possessed the soul of the Pope's exorcist.
I'm guessing the Pope would get a new exorcist, maybe? Hold auditions or something? It's all made up anyway. Yes, could you please say, the power of Christ compels you for me, please? Okay, good, you've got the job. Oh, and, excommunicate the last guy for me on your way out the door. Thank you. Yeah, see, problem solved.
My faith does not require defense.
And that accent has no defense. And there it is, the worst trailer in the world for this month. Now, I concede I'm probably not the audience for this. I've never really been a fan of Christianity-based horror, mostly because it comes with the presumption that Christianity is the one true faith, even though there are literally thousands of other religions out there, many of which predate Christianity. It also doesn't help that, for the purposes of this completely fictitious story that really only has an in-name only connection to its real-life counterpart, the filmmakers end up picking a very problematic character to be their so-called hero. This is a man who artificially inflated his own tally of exorcisms, claimed that things like yoga, Harry Potter, and Ouija boards were somehow satanic, and who professed that the disappearance of a teenage girl back in the 80s was part of some international sex ring with absolutely no evidence. Oh yeah, totally someone we should be rooting for. Come on. Meanwhile, when it comes to the actual filmmaking elements, we're getting yet another ripoff of The Exorcist, Russell Crowe somehow doing an even worse voice than the one he did in the last Thor film, and a new low for the based on a true story marketing tool. I'm sorry, how are we supposed to take any of this seriously? How are we supposed to be scared by any of it? And given that it's coming out right after Easter, how are any actual Christians supposed to see this as anything other than utterly blasphemous? A huckster in a robe spent his life claiming that the mere act of prayer could expel demons, and the filmmakers somehow turned him into a literal Ghostbuster crusading for children on behalf of an organization that has spent decades abusing them. Hell no. And I do mean hell. That's all for this month. Keep it locked on the blog, actuallypaid.com, for more reviews and features, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content. And if you don't want to see more, well, thanks for stopping by anyway. I do appreciate it. Until next time, I'm Bill Hammond. I actually paid to see this. And the filmmakers somehow turn him into a literal Ghostbuster crusading for almost had it. Take 10.